Hi, everybody. My name is Noelle, and I am the Youth Program Specialist here at Mothers Against Drunk Driving, Connecticut. Today's topic is bringing up the topic of alcohol with your child or teen. And this is a continuation of some of the Power of Parents programs we've been doing over this video series. So we're just going to jump right in. So something to start with is asking permission. We often suggest starting the conversation with a neutral subject. If your teen just got home from sports practice, you could ask, "Hey, how was your soccer practice today?" Maybe they had a math test, you can ask about that. Something neutral to engage them in a bit of conversation before you jump into a deeper topic. And back to asking permission. So a good example of this is saying something along the lines of, "There's something I've been hearing about through some other parents at school. Is it okay if we talk for a bit?" This will make your teen feel a little bit more like you're including them in the conversation rather than just setting up a time for you to lecture to them. When we start this conversation, we suggest using how, what, and why questions. Some examples of these could be, how many kids do you think drink alcohol at your school? How many do you think have been in the car with somebody who drove after drinking? How do you think alcohol has maybe helped them or hurt them? You can also ask, what are some reasons kids might have for drinking? What are some things to do instead? And why do you think kids didn't choose to do something else when they had been drinking? You also want to try to avoid negative reactions. So you want to avoid giving the silent treatment, but denying that anything is wrong and saying, "I'm fine." You don't want to let off steam and have an outburst at your teen. Definitely not trying to recruit others to support your argument. You want this to be more of a conversation and a discussion rather than trying to lecture to them or convince them of something. And also not comparing them to siblings or friends or family. So not saying anything like, "Well, your sister's friends did this. Why shouldn't yours?" Or "Your brother did this. You should too." So we want to kind of talk about some assumptions that parents have about teens and drinking and confront them with the real facts. So one popular assumption is that my son or daughter or child is not interested in drinking. According to data from a Monitoring the Future national survey, about 75% of teens do try alcohol outside the home before graduating high school. You might think my teen's friends are really good kids and they don't drink, but about 33% of high school seniors have consumed alcohol in the past 30 days. You might think my child has learned about the negative effects of alcohol in school. And although most teens do learn about alcohol in health classes, research suggests that many important issues don't really get covered or don't get covered as in depth as they should be. School programs by themselves are not enough to really stop kids from drinking. You might think at this point, my son or daughter or child should know better. But unfortunately, the reality is that many teens at this point in their lives are still pretty uninformed about how powerful a drug alcohol can actually be. And you might also think, my child's older, they're a senior in high school. They're not going to listen to me at this point. I should have had this conversation earlier. And leading national surveys reveal that parents are the #1 source that teens turn to for important information. About 75% of teens said that their parents were the leading influence on their decision to drink alcohol. And so parents can really influence their teens' decision to not drink. That's all we have for today. Tune in next week for some more information about how to continue this conversation with your kids.